The measure of a society is found in how they treat their weakest and most helpless citizens. We cannot be both the world's leading champion of peace and the world's leading supplier of the weapons of war. God wisely designed the human body so that we can neither pat our own backs nor kick ourselves too easily. The bond of our common humanity is stronger than the divisiveness of our fears and prejudices. We become not a melting pot, but a beautiful mosaic. Different people, different beliefs, different yearnings, different hopes, different dreams. We must adjust to changing times and still hold to unchanging principles. I'd like to be remembered as someone who was a champion of peace and human rights. When people are intimidated about having their own opinions, oppression is at hand. Life is just too short to go quail hunting with the wrong people. We will not learn how to live together in peace by killing each other's children. The abuse of women and girls is the most pervasive and unaddressed human right violation on earth. We are of course a nation of differences. Those differences don't make us weak. They're the source of our strength. America did not invent human rights. In a very real sense, human rights invented America. I've never won an argument with my wife, and the only time I thought I had, I found out the argument wasn't over yet. You can do what you have to do, and sometimes you can do it even better than you think you can. It's not necessary to fear the prospect of failure, but to be determined not to fail. Wherever life takes us, there are always moments of wonder. I am no big shot. I am not anybody's boss. I want to be everybody's servant. Like music and art, love of nature is a common language that can transcend political or social boundaries. We know that a peaceful world cannot exist, 1/3 rich and 2/3 hungry. To be true to ourselves, we must be true to others. Faith implies a continuing search, not necessarily a final answer. Our values are not luxuries, but necessities. They are not the salt in our bread, but the bread itself. Aggression unopposed becomes a contagious disease. Too many of us now tend to worship self-indulgence and consumption. Whether the borders that divide us are picket fences or national boundaries, we are all neighbors in a global community. My proudest accomplishment was that I never dropped a bomb, fired a bullet, or shot a missile. If you fear making anyone mad, then you ultimately probe for the lowest common denominator of human achievement. In a nuclear age, each of us is threatened when peace is not secured everywhere. Every act of energy conservation is more than just common sense. I tell you, it is an act of patriotism. God always answers prayer, sometimes with a yes, sometimes with a no, and sometimes with a "you've got to be kidding." Testing oneself is best when done alone. Human identity is no longer defined by what one does, but rather by what one owns. Trust is very much a part of our democracy. It's a terrible, tragic, and counterproductive policy to avoid communicating with people who disagree with us. If you're totally illiterate and living on $1 a day, the benefits of globalization never came to you. People who have lust in their heart are just as guilty as those who commit adultery. The greatest discrimination in the world now is against poor people. Go out on a limb. That's where the fruit is. Thank you for watching. Share your favorite quote in the comments below, like this video if you found it inspiring, and subscribe for more timeless quotes.